The city was a maze of towering buildings and noisy streets. A small grey tabby cat wandered through the alleys, a tiny shadow lost in the concrete jungle. This was Whiskers, a stray cat trying to survive. He didn't remember a time before the streets. Whiskers spent his days searching for scraps of food. He scavenged through garbage bins, hoping for discarded leftovers. Sometimes he caught a rat or a bird, but those were rare feasts. Hunger gnawed at his belly, a constant companion. At night, Whiskers sought shelter wherever he could find it. He huddled in doorways, under parked cars, seeking a moment of warmth and safety. The city nights were cold, and he often woke, shivering, his small body trembling. Life on the streets was a constant struggle for survival. For Whiskers, every day was a test of endurance and resilience. The urban jungle was unforgiving, and he had to be on high alert at all times. The city was a maze of dangers, and Whiskers had to navigate it with caution. Every day brought new challenges and dangers. The bustling streets were filled with speeding cars, and Whiskers had to be nimble to avoid them. The alleyways, though offering some shelter, were fraught with their own perils. The constant noise and movement kept him on edge. Whiskers had to be wary of cars speeding through the streets and larger animals looking for an easy meal. He often found himself hiding under cars or slipping into narrow gaps to escape danger. The presence of dogs was particularly terrifying, as they could easily overpower him. He learned to be quick, to disappear into the shadows, always alert. The darkness of the alleys became his refuge, a place where he could momentarily escape the chaos. But even in the shadows, he had to stay vigilant, ready to flee at a moment's notice. The other stray cats were competition, fighting for scraps and territory. Every meal was a battle, and Whiskers had to assert himself to get his share. The fights were brutal, and the stakes were high. Food was scarce, and every bite counted. Whiskers bore the scars of countless fights on his ears and nose. Each scar told a story of survival, a testament to his tenacity. The wounds were painful, but they were also a badge of honor, proof of his ability to endure. But he was a survivor, toughened by hardship, his spirit unbroken. Despite the constant challenges, Whiskers remained determined. His will to live was strong, and he faced each day with a fierce resolve. The streets had made him tough, but they hadn't taken away his hope. The loneliness was the hardest part. Amidst the chaos and danger, Whiskers felt a deep sense of isolation. The nights were especially tough, with the cold and darkness amplifying his solitude. He longed for companionship, for a connection that went beyond mere survival. Whiskers longed for a gentle touch, a kind word. The brief moments of human interaction were precious to him. A kind gesture, a soft voice, these were the things that gave him hope. He yearned for affection, for a sense of belonging that he had never known. He watched families walk by, their children laughing, and felt a pang of longing in his heart. The sight of happy families reminded him of what he was missing, the laughter of children, the warmth of a home. These were things he could only dream of. He wished for a place to belong, a human to call his own. Whiskers dreamed of a day when he would no longer have to fight for survival, a day when he could rest, knowing he was safe and loved. Until then, he would continue to endure, holding on to the hope that one day his dreams would come true. Despite the harsh realities of street life, there were moments of kindness that kept Whiskers going. A kind old woman sometimes left out a saucer of milk for him. Her smile warmed him like the sun. One cold winter day, a young boy spotted Whiskers huddled in a doorway. He shared his sandwich with the cat, breaking it into small pieces. Whiskers ate gratefully, feeling a flicker of hope in his heart. These acts of kindness, small but significant, reminded Whiskers that there was still good in the world. They gave him the strength to keep going, to keep hoping for a better life. One spring afternoon, as Whiskers was napping under a park bench, he felt a gentle hand stroking his fur. He opened his eyes to see a young woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. She spoke softly to him, her voice soothing. The woman, whose name was Emily, started coming to the park every day. She brought food and water for Whiskers and spent time talking to him, scratching him under the chin. Whiskers, wary at first, slowly began to trust her. He purred as she petted him, feeling a sense of peace he hadn't known in a long time. One day, Emily brought a cat carrier with her. She coaxed Whiskers inside, promising him a better life. He hesitated for a moment, then stepped inside. He felt a mix of fear and excitement. A new adventure was about to begin. Whiskers had always been a stray, wandering the streets and parks, relying on the kindness of strangers for his meals. He had seen many faces come and go, but none had ever taken a genuine interest in him. That was until Emily came along. Her daily visits became the highlight of his day. Emily's presence was a beacon of hope for Whiskers. She had a way of making him feel special, like he was the only cat in the world. Her voice was like a gentle lullaby, calming his restless spirit. She would sit on the bench, reading a book or simply talking to him about her day. Whiskers would listen intently, his eyes following her every move. The bond between them grew stronger with each passing day. Emily's dedication to Whiskers was unwavering. She made sure he was well fed and comfortable, even bringing a small blanket for him to sleep on. Whiskers began to look forward to her visits, eagerly awaiting the sound of her footsteps. He would run to her, his tail held high, a sign of his growing affection and trust. Emily's kindness knew no bounds. She even started bringing toys for Whiskers, little trinkets that he would bat around with glee. The park became their sanctuary, a place where they could escape the hustle and bustle of the world. Whiskers, once a cautious and wary stray, transformed into a loving and affectionate companion. He would nuzzle against Emily, purring contentedly as she scratched him under the chin. The change in Whiskers was remarkable. He had found a friend in Emily, someone who cared for him deeply. One day, Emily decided it was time to give Whiskers a permanent home. She brought a cat carrier with her, hoping he would trust her enough to come with her. She coaxed him gently, her voice filled with promise and love. Whiskers hesitated, the carrier representing the unknown, but the bond they had formed gave him the courage to take that step. He stepped inside, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. Emily's smile reassured him that he was making the right choice. As the carrier door closed, Whiskers looked up at Emily, his eyes filled with trust. He knew that this was the beginning of a new adventure, one filled with love and care. The journey ahead was uncertain, but with Emily by his side, Whiskers felt ready to face whatever came his way. A new adventure was about to begin, and Whiskers couldn't wait to see where it would lead. Section 5. From Fear to Trust, a slow transition. The first few days in Emily's apartment were overwhelming for Whiskers. He had been through a lot of changes recently, and this new environment was just another challenge for him to face. The bustling city sounds outside the window, the unfamiliar scent of new furniture, and the echo of footsteps in the hallway all contributed to his anxiety. He was surrounded by unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells. Every creak of the floorboards and distant hum of the refrigerator seemed to startle him. The shadows cast by the evening sun created eerie shapes that made him even more nervous. He hid under the bed, unsure of what to make of this new environment. The space beneath the bed became his sanctuary, a small haven where he felt somewhat safe from the overwhelming world outside. Emily was patient and understanding. She knew that Whiskers needed time to adjust and didn't rush him. She spent hours sitting quietly near his hiding spot, letting him know that she was there for him without being intrusive. She spoke to him in a soft voice, offering him treats and toys. Her gentle words and kind gestures were her way of showing him that he was safe and loved. She tried different treats, hoping to find his favorite, and played with various toys to see what might catch his interest. She respected his space, letting him come to her when he was ready. Emily understood that building trust takes time and that Whiskers needed to feel in control of his own pace. She never forced him out of his hiding spot, allowing him to emerge when he felt comfortable. Slowly, Whiskers began to explore his new surroundings. Each day he ventured a little further from his safe spot, his curiosity gradually overcoming his fear. He started to sniff around the room, investigating every nook and cranny. He discovered the joy of soft blankets, finding comfort in their warmth and softness. The blankets became his new favorite spot, a place where he could relax and feel secure. The warmth of a sunny windowsill, where he could bask in the sunlight and watch the world go by. The gentle rays of the sun provided a soothing warmth that helped him feel more at ease. The endless entertainment of dangling toys. He found joy in batting at the toys, his playful side slowly emerging as he felt more comfortable in his new home. He learned that the scratching post was far more satisfying than Emily's furniture. The post became his go-to spot for stretching and sharpening his claws, a healthy outlet for his natural instincts. Most importantly, he learned to trust and love again. Emily's patience and kindness paid off, and Whiskers began to show his affection in return. He would cuddle with her, purring contentedly, a sign that he had finally found his place in his new home. Section 6. The joys of a forever home. Whiskers, renamed Oliver by Emily, thrived in his new home. He loved to curl up on the sofa next to Emily, purring contentedly as she read a book or watched television. He followed her around the apartment, his tail held high, his once haunted eyes now shining with happiness. Oliver discovered the simple pleasures of being a pampered house cat. He loved to chase after feather toys, bat at crinkly balls, and nap in sunbeams. He especially loved meal times when Emily filled his bowl with delicious cat food. Oliver never forgot his time on the streets, but the fear and uncertainty were gone. He was safe, loved, and cherished. He had found his forever home. Section 7. A new life full of love. Oliver's transformation was remarkable. He went from being a scared, wary stray to a confident, affectionate companion. He loved to greet Emily at the door when she came home from work, rubbing against her legs and purring loudly. He would often curl up on her lap while she worked, his rhythmic purring a soothing melody. Oliver filled Emily's life with joy and unconditional love. He had become her best friend, her furry confidant. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Emily often talked about how lucky she was to have found Oliver. He had brought so much love and laughter into her life. Section 8. Reflections on a journey. Oliver's journey from street stray to beloved pet was a testament to the resilience of animals and the transformative power of love. He had endured hardship and loneliness, yet he never gave up hope. His story was a reminder that every animal deserves a loving home. It highlighted the importance of kindness and compassion towards all creatures, big and small. Oliver's story also underscored the unique bond between humans and animals, a bond built on trust, respect, and unconditional love. Section 9. A legacy of love. Oliver lived a long and happy life with Emily. He never forgot the kindness that had saved him, and he continued to inspire Emily to help other animals in need. They volunteered at animal shelters, fostered kittens, and donated to animal rescue organizations. Oliver's story became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love can prevail. His legacy lived on, inspiring countless acts of kindness towards animals. Oliver's journey from the streets to a loving home was a testament to the indomitable spirit of animals and the transformative power of compassion. He was a reminder that every living being deserves love, kindness, and a place to call home.